Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live for our special FOMC division segment here in the afternoon. Joining me live is our senior economist, Tracy Shuchart, aka Shy Girl. Tracy, how are you?
All right, doing good. Good afternoon, everyone.
And we have Craig Shapiro's macro strategist. How you doing, Craig?
All right, Jim. Doing all right.
And we have FOMC chair nominee Stowe with us live. How you doing, Stowe?
I'm doing so good, Jim. So good.
Well, thanks for being here with us, Stowe. And, we're going to talk about the FOMC. Sure. We're going to get some information at 2 o'clock. And then we're going to kind of check out some price action on some of the charts that we see. And already we see some movement in the bond market. I mean, the bond market is selling off a little bit ahead of time, almost as if they have some inside information. Shai, let's start with you. What are you thinking?
We know 25 basis points is baked into the cake. Now it's going to be whether we get a QT announcement that they are stopping QT, and or do they mention it in this meeting but don't really do anything about it till the December meeting, or do they stop that immediately? And or do they stop that immediately and start some form of QE and kind of changing their balance sheet a little bit? And so that's really what's going to be important, more so than, say, the actual rate cut itself, since it's 99% sure that's going to happen, and the Fed generally doesn't like to surprise the market.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, and Craig, we're down. The balance sheet's been cut by about 26% since its peak, around, pretty close to that 9 trillion mark. We're still at 6 trillion. Remember when this COVID thing started, we were almost maybe at 1. If we got to 1, then everyone's hair would start on fire. Are we still too heavy here on the balance sheet?
Look, I think the Fed is trying to, search for this idea of ample reserves, which is, a balance sheet that can support the economy, can support the banking system, and, create no issues. And so, yes, we've been reducing the size of the balance sheet for a few years, but we're starting to see, some signs of strain at the edges for certain banks that are struggling to get some liquidity and are paying up for liquidity. And so the Fed is, again, trying to identify this idea of ample, and it's impossible to know exactly what it is. It's almost like, you know it when you see it. And so now that we're seeing some strain in the funding markets, more and more sell-side firms and market participants are requesting that the Fed, stop doing QT
right now.
Right now, because look, this is the market that constantly wants to be rewarded with more liquidity, right? We were getting the rate cut today. We're going to get another rate cut in December, largely, 90+% price for December too, but it's not enough. And so there's a desire to shut the balance sheet reduction down too. I think what will most likely happen is the Fed will table this until the December meeting. We'll see. But more importantly, mortgages, the Fed owns a lot of mortgage-backed securities. They have talked about reducing that exposure on their balance sheet over time. So I think they're more likely to kind of continue to see mortgages fall off the balance sheet, and they'll probably be reinvesting proceeds into Treasury bills over time. But I don't think that's today's issue. I think that's really going to be more of a December issue. But we'll see. I think there is some expectation for it to happen today. So possible disappointment if it gets pushed out for another 2-3 months.
Yeah, I mean, we're already down to, in April meeting, I think, 2025, we were down to, only tapering treasuries by $5 billion. And when you look at the overall size of the holdings, that's not a lot. The mortgage backs are $35 billion still. So that's, will they taper that a little bit, or will they stay the same, I guess is the question.
Yeah, I think this is, to your point, we're talking about small numbers here, but really there does need to be a more thorough analysis of what the balance sheet trajectory is going to look like in 2026. And it seems like, year-end business cleaning up type of thing. Powell mentioned this in a speech in October. Typically that would, set up this meeting, and maybe, have some discussion about it this meeting, and then finalize some idea of what the balance sheet's going to look like, treasuries versus mortgages for next year at that point. So again, I think this is, December's business, but there certainly is a desire and an increased, desire from the street to see this happen now.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
we need NVIDIA at a $6 trillion company by the end of the day, just so you know.
Now, hang on. Someone's got to clarify this for me once and for all. Is it NVIDIA or NVIDIA?
NVIDIA, according to our production crew, that corrected me.
I've been saying
already.
NVIDIA this whole time, but I notoriously pronounce everything
NVIDIA.
wrong.
I don't know. But Shai, let me ask you this, Shai. Is a 25 basis point cut going to do anything for the job market?
No. Honestly, not. It's not going to do anything for the job market because really where we're seeing the biggest problem in the job market is really at that younger segment of the population. So new graduates, people, between 20 and 30 years old, they're really having a difficult time finding jobs. That job markets are very difficult for them. We also see, because of this whole tariff thing, we've kind of had, we don't want to fire people, but we don't want to hire people. But now we're actually seeing layoffs. We've had companies, big companies announce layoffs, and not small ones, tens of thousands of people. We have Amazon, who actually said they're cutting 600,000 of their workforce and integrating automation instead, on top of the 14,000 that they are laying off at the CEO level or at the the white collar level. So big job cuts announced. So I don't think a 25 basis point cut is going to make any business want to go run out and hire for any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. The other thing I'm worried about is, with all these layoffs, and even if you say, okay, AI is, productivity is going to be a wash, or maybe a little bit better with AI, so we don't need these people. But those paychecks in people's pockets get spent into the economy, and it shoots,
Right.
circularly around. What happens when we start, when that kind of dies, and then does that exacerbate recession fears?
Yeah, look, I think the Fed has this issue. Like we've been talking about this K-shaped economy, this K-shaped market, and so they have set a monetary policy that is too tight for the lower part of the economy, for low-end consumers, for small companies, for the working class, and but the monetary policy is too loose for people who have excess cash flow, excess assets, and homeowners and the like. And so they're trying to set monetary policy, for this lower part of the economy by lowering rates. The problem is that's taking asset prices up further. That's keeping inflation sticky. That's keeping financial conditions looser than they otherwise would be. And so we're in this predicament here. And the issue is that AI is leading to structural labor displacement. And that's not something that's going to go away anytime soon. In fact, it's likely to accelerate. And so to the extent that you're eliminating white-collar jobs, folks making six figures, and they're being replaced with blue-collar jobs making low five figures, you have a massive consumption issue there too. And part of the banking issues, I think, some of the credit issues we're seeing in autos, in housing, in some of these regional in some of these areas where this is going on, I think that's where you're starting to see some of the strain developing. So this is going to play out over months and quarters. But to your original question, 25 basis points is not going to do anything to arrest these labor market declines. 50 basis points this year is not going to do anything. 100 is probably not going to do anything too. So these are structural issues that AI is causing, and this is a problem for the Fed. I think we'll have to hear from Powell, today how the Fed is thinking about some of the structural issues regarding AI and what it means for monetary policy. I think they'll get some questions about that.
Yeah, hold that thought for a second, Craig. Before we get that 2 o'clock release, though, I did want to ask Stowe, what do you see typically when we have these big events? You're looking at the order book all the time.
Yeah.
What are you seeing in terms of liquidity and pricing?
It was the thing I like about at least the last few Fed days this year is it's tended to trend up and into European close, up until like 12:30, 1 o'clock. We didn't really get that today. I can go back to the normal chart. Yeah, we kind of got push high, push low, settle in the middle. There is a lot of two-way trade at the moment. There has been all day around this 69.42, and then again in NQ. They've been piling in several areas with a ton of of delta, like over 1,000, which is, I mean, these are high numbers for NQ. A few minutes before this happens, basically what you see is everybody goes away. Nobody wants to be in the market anymore. And whereas we get like in a really busy, thick ES book, you'll see 100 lots on each tick. There may be 5, there may be 0, and that's what usually creates the violent reaction to the Fed announcement, or at least it has in the past. Is you'll have algorithms come in and start blasting a book that has nothing on it, so it becomes a bit of a weird war. So yeah, I don't touch it, at least for a little bit, until that first bit calms down, and then we usually get a second set of volatility around 2:30 when Jay Powell starts to say whatever, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
as soon as he says good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes, there's an algorithm based on what color tie he has too, and purple tie it fires long, red tie it fires short.
Wow,
Just kidding.
Good thing
Doesn't
there's-
exist.
Good thing there's not an algorithm for what farm wears on the stream. So back to Craig, back to you and Shai. You mentioned Fed's Powell's Fed, right? And if he serves out his whole term as chair, I think that gets him all the way through the April meeting of next year, if I'm not mistaken. So that's 5 more meetings. Is it even possible to get for him leading this 3 25 bip cuts between now and then?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's certainly being priced in by the market, and the lack of data is probably something that's keeping him more likely to cut, right? Because all you're getting is the anecdotal stuff from the Amazon layoffs or the like, and you're seeing obviously the government shutdown. So we know federal government workers are being furloughed, and some of the issues on consumption there. So I think he's more likely to err on the side of we got to keep monetary policy loose to help out the lower part of this K-shaped economy. And if the stock market continues to move higher, well, that's not really something we're too concerned about. He's been asked, and he's mentioned before, he thinks valuations in the equity market are above normal, but it's not something that he's particularly concerned about. And so this easing of financial conditions that we keep getting creates this bifurcation where more and more money plows into secular growth companies, AI build-out companies, the AI CapEx story like we've been talking about, and anything tied into the low-end consumer, has been struggling. And we're seeing, today I was noticing some of the human resource-related companies like Paychex and even ADP and Robert Half and Manpower, companies that are tied into the labor market, all making lows, right, for the last few months here. And so you're seeing that dichotomy continue.
And even if you look at the market over the last couple of days, you can see what's down. Consumer discretionary is down. Consumer staples is down. Financials down. Really, all that's up is information technology, to be honest. A little bit of materials and a little bit of industrials. But those sectors are seeing some downward pressure that can concern the consumer.
Yeah. So we're going to get a press release in probably less than a minute, or maybe a little over a minute.
Oh, I had a question, Jim.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a macro question. I was thinking about this as it pertained to just like market mechanics in general. Whereas, we get a lot of correlations with the 90s bubble right now. But there's a lot of different things like 0 DTE options, stuff that affects the market differently. Do you think that in the same way that the normal school of economics, this is when you cut, this is why you cut, this is when you start QE, this is when you stop QT, all that stuff. Do you think as societal things change, like artificial intelligence, do you think that changes the framework of how economists look at, their old playbooks?
That's a good question, and let's pick up this topic in about a minute, because Tracy's going to get it.
It's almost a thing.
No, that's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay. That's a great question. But she's going to get the press release, and she's going to be able to dissect it for us and see what changes there are. So,
Stowe with the existential question, 30 seconds before the release.
My bad.
Nice.
I love it. I'm like, that's a really good question.
Sorry, I'm very on brand with that. My bad.
He's listening to Pink Floyd in the background.
Yeah,
it's a very good question, though. Absolutely. Yeah. So, About 5 seconds. We'll find out.
All right, I'm keeping my eye on 4 different charts right now. 6E, E-mini S&P on the left.
So quarter
Bonds at the
cut,
bottom.
quarter point cut, as we figured. No surprise there. Let's see. It'll probably take a minute to get this.
So it looks like they're going to Fed to roll maturing agency debt into T-bills. So they actually are doing something here. They're going to stop shrinking the balance sheet on December 1st. And it looks like there's some commentary here that they'll, rotate some of these proceeds into T-bills. So it seems like maybe some people got what they wanted.
So they're shifting Dow into the short end of the curve.
It appears that way, yes. Steve Moran also dissented, looking for 50 basis points. Not that that's that much of a surprise for him, but
Exactly.
Shai, any major changes on the actual statement?
So I am looking FOMC. Where's the
Bonds got
Kind
the
of a
memo
quiet,
ahead
yeah.
of time. Bonds are breaking out. No, we're down to 118.15 on bonds. They got the memo ahead of time. They're on the move down. Right, so that Menthor Q 1-day min just tapped it perfectly.
So there actually, sorry to interrupt, there actually were 2 dissents. So the Fed's Schmid also dissented because he was looking for no cut. So you had 1 hawkish dissent, 1 dovish dissent. We're both sides here.
So there are some changes in the statement. Not huge. The statement, really, it's the very first paragraph. So available indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a moderate pace. And job gains have slowed this year. And the unemployment rate has edged up but remains low through August. More recent indicators are consistent with these developments. Inflation has moved up since earlier this year, but remains somewhat elevated. They didn't really talk about in the last statement the labor issue as much as they did this statement. And then we had the dot plots. Of course, voting against was Moran, who preferred the lower end of the target rate by 0.5 percentage point. You had Schmid, who preferred no change to the target range for the federal funds rate at this meeting, and everybody else pretty much was on board with the quarter cut.
I mean, there you go. I mean, the stock index futures are back to the point of control. At least the E-mini S&P is. NASI, same thing. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
tight range. The 6E, so the US 6E versus the US dollar has a wicked wick down, but we just popped immediately right back up. It was a knee jerk in less than a liquid market move. So be careful with that 6E if you're trading FOMC. But other than that,
getting some
bonds are
stuff
still
now.
down.
So yeah, and they're gonna. One more thing, really quickly, and so they're
ahead,
going to stop QT in December. So kind of got what they wanted, kind of not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it. I mean, Craig, what did you say when we were powwowing ahead of time? This is the most boring FOMC meeting of all time.
Yeah, look, I mean, largely expected. I think what was unexpected was the Schmid dissent. So that's one thing. So you may have some, momentum here to price out, the December cut because, he's not, he's clearly putting up his hand and saying, I'm not ready to do this. I'm not ready to engage in this. And he gets he votes one more time in December. And then on the balance sheet, look, I think it was, people wanted it. It wasn't 100% expected, but, we got it. It's for December 1st. Not such a big deal. I think I'm looking at the VIX here. VIX had an initial, move lower. Not surprisingly, you arrive at the data point and then we just sell VIX immediately. But right now, VIX is kind of climbing, back up again here. I think the market is going to transition, from whatever Powell has to say here and then just focus on what we know is coming after the close, which is Meta, Microsoft, and Google, right? And you're talking about, three big heavyweights here that have to report on the AI CapEx story. And I think that's going to ultimately wind up being the determinant here. But I guess, look, I mean, we'll watch bonds, watch the dollar. If fixed income starts to sell off and yields grind higher, then that's an expectation that this was fully priced, right? I think we knew that we were going to cut. We knew we were going to get one in December. It was going to be hard for the Fed to outdove the market. So maybe on the margin, that's a little bit disappointing. But I think we're going to quickly move past this as a as something that people are concerned about. I'll be more focused on what happens after the bell.
Yeah, I'm going to throw into the secret sauce, though, Craig, a smidgen of China. What happens there? I mean, that's, the biggest red candle we've seen on the even the S&P daily candle chart for months now is with the China. I'll call it the China scare. I mean, it's not a scare, but go ahead, Tracy.
I think the China thing is a kind of a done deal. Unless something outside happens and I don't know, Trump walks out and says forget it, which could happen. You never know. So aside from that happening, I mean, I think it's pretty much a done deal. The framework seems like a done deal. Unlike the other times, you actually had the China side saying that they agree with what the Americans are saying. So I don't think there's going to be much of a surprise there. But never say never.
Yeah. I hope you're right. So let's get back to Stowe's question. So Stowe, I'm going to give you my one sentence answer, and then I'm going to pass it over. It's all about interest rates. It's always been all about interest rates, and so no matter what in my mind, whatever the mechanics are, the mechanics are, but interest rates reign almighty, I think. So how do you guys feel?
Well, a couple things. One, back in the 1999-2000 cycle, and typically I think into all bubbles, right? We get Fed tightening of financial conditions is what pops the bubbles. And so what's different this time is the Fed is loosening financial conditions, right? They're cutting rates despite the strength of this part of the market. But with respect to just the zero data expiry, stuff, I think that is a fundamental difference. This time we have this vol suppression vehicle. We have tons, exorbitant amounts of capital that are chasing, 1-day returns and speculating in daily options, whether it be an index or weekly options in all these big cap companies. And so I think that's a dynamic that is different with respect to the equity market. But I think cross asset wise, with respect to rates and commodities and the dollar, it'll look just like every other cycle. And so then the question becomes, will cross asset flows, can they overwhelm, this zero data expiry, this very short term options related dynamic?
Okay.
I think that if you're talking about, does kind of the Fed change their focus as kind of everything evolves? I think, their two main concerns are the labor market and price stability, meaning inflation. And so I think where sort of this AI thing comes into play is kind of attaches itself to the labor market. And so that's where I think they need to, or they do look into a little bit more. I don't think they're concerned about is, I don't think they watch zero DTEs and how crazy it's made the market as far as how they would adjust policy.
No, I was just drawing a correlation between zero DTE changes the way that we look at a lot of things, and just from mechanical purposes, like in the same way AI is going to make that job market be weird. It's just a new 100%. It's just a new thing.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
Yesterday we were kind of talking about that, where I was looking at zero DTEs for SPY and SPX, and everybody was leaning on the call side. I mean, there was tons of them. And then what happens is just there's this mechanical feedback where the market makers that are holding the short calls have to go into the futures market and buy it, right, to keep their book balanced. And so that's just kind of an automatic thing. If I look at today, it's kind of 50-50. We've got, if I just look at SPY calls, we've got expiring today, we got the 688 put and the 689 call are both pretty neck and neck. So we'll see what... well, actually, no, that just jumped. Actually, it's harder on the put side now.
Okay.
A little bit.
There's also this, for today, there's this big iron condor at 69.15 by 69.25. So that's been that's cash. We've been struggling to get above 69.10. There'll be a big negative gamma pocket if we kind of blast through that range. But for now, it seems, very well contained.
I love the zero DTEs that Mentor Q gives us. I mean, look at my 4 charts. At least on all 4 of them, either the high is defined by a zero DTE level or the low, or both. So I like looking at those levels from a day trade point of view, for sure.
Greg, how many?
I mean, okay.
How many options do we need to sell to be considered a big iron condor? Do you think we could all get together and do it to get as NT Live? Get on the
I mean,
real quick on the book.
It's what's crazy is that these these are well documented trades that are going on daily, and I guess different groups are getting together and kind of putting them out together, and they're putting the levels out in advance. It's kind of bizarre to see these levels, right? Today was the 69.25 by 15, and on the low side was whatever it was, 68.70 by 50. And so you're right, it defines the ranges that we have, and the amount of money that is trading. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of contracts every day in all these lines. It's just a way bigger flow than any other flow in the market on any particular day, 100%. even on a Fed day, right? It's the only thing that matters is this 0 day to expiry. It's kind of wild.
I mean, we still have NVIDIA calls expiring on Friday, 210 calls, 216,000 contracts traded today, which is huge.
Wow. Yeah, for the independent traders listening to us today, don't be running around putting 9 condors on left and right.
No. That's a very quick way to find out what a steamroller is and what it can do to your portfolio.
You have to unwind 4 different positions to get out. Getting in, okay, but even with automation, sometimes the bid-ask spread's funky, and sometimes the liquidity's funky, and you got 4 positions to get out of. You can get hurt badly quick.
I've never tried to do that, Jim.
I know that from experience.
I've never once tried to sell an iron condor and then wait all day to the end of the day. That's never happened to me. No.
Oh my God. Oh boy. All right. So next up is Powell's conversation with the American people. Well, the world people, right? He talks to the world.
He talks to the world.
Is he going to be talking about tariffs, you think, a lot in the speech?
I mean, he'll get asked about, tariffs again, and he's, certainly moved into the tariffs are transitory camp.
Yep.
I suspect he'll get a question about the September CPI, which he'll say, was just 1 month, and but it was, encouraging that we're not seeing core inflation really accelerate further from here. But we're still talking about 3% core inflation. And it looks like right now we're probably not going to get an October CPI print, right? The government's closed. They're not going to be able to collect the data. So they're probably just going to punt on the, on the October print. So the next print's going to come, for the month of November, and that comes in December, right? So it's going to be a while before the Fed really gets comfortable, information here on the inflation front. I would imagine that should make it more challenging for them to just, deliver on the December cut. And I suspect that's why Schmid was dissenting today. But, right now we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off in fixed income. 2-year yields are, they're making highs for the day here. So maybe some modest pricing out of that rate cut for December. But we'll have to hear from Powell how the Fed is holistically thinking about the lack of data and whether or not it's really a deterrent for them to deliver this cutting cycle that is really priced in.
Shai, do you think tariffs are transitory?
I think they.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I don't think they are as much as everyone says.
Well, I think when they describe them as transitory, they're saying it's a one-time price increase, but not that prices go back to down. They're just saying it's a one-time price increase, and so that's what they're calling kind of transitory. Instead of it, you don't have it recurring all the time. That it's just you get a price increase and then it stays steady. So their definition of transitory is kind of different than you as a consumer would think the definition of transitory is. Transitory sounds like prices go up but then they come back down, which is not the case.
Yeah.
So just back on the pricing real quick. So January SOFR futures now are only pricing in a 50% chance of a cut in the January meeting, right? So that's the lowest odds that we've had, for that contract in quite some time, right? So this is the bond market, starting to remove cuts for 2026. Again, this is trading, right? This is probabilities. We don't. But I think that Schmid dissent was a little bit unexpected, and so probably just some pushback here against the narrative that it's all smooth sailing. It's just going to be cuts no matter what, and that inflation, is coming back to target. He's an inflation hawk, and he doesn't see it. And there's other members of the Fed. Muslim also has been hawkish. He's a voter. He didn't vote to dissent this time. But then for next year, Logan and Hammock become voters, and they're hawks as well. And so, they're unlikely to deliver that January cut. And so I think the market's pricing that in a little bit here, which is probably why, bonds are selling off a touch into the press conference.
Yeah, if you look at the Fed Watch tool, we're down to 39% chance in January, up from 48.3% before the announcement.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get data by then. I mean, the next meeting is December 10th. So going back to when's data, real meaningful data going to be released again to the public? And I'll argue that it's already released privately, but released to the public. Are we even going to make that date?
What?
I mean, the government shutdown is, it's still a big issue, right? I mean, to have these, SNAP benefits which are likely to, not be paid at the end of this month, and that's going to become an increased, problem for 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP benefits. So this is going to become a political hot button issue for the administration when Trump comes back next week, and so. I think there's going to be a push to try to open the government soon.
Yeah, because it's going to be a problem for both parties.
I'll be shocked.
I mean,
if there's not
everybody will get the blame.
I'll be shocked if there's not a special SNAP funding that happens. I'll be shocked.
I agree with you, Jim.
Well, that's typically the MO, right? When the stuff starts to fail, they still want to have the narrative of we're fighting each other over this thing, but they do find ways to fund the necessary things as they show up. It never gets like as doom and gloom as it appears to be in rhetoric world anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we have air traffic controllers now that are going to miss a second paycheck though. And that's, for most families, that's a big deal. That's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah. I was talking
I'm
to a
glad
friend
they
of
were
mine
there. I flew 8 times 2 weeks ago. That was crazy.
I was talking to a friend of mine who owns a couple restaurants here down here, and he mentioned to me that in the last 2 weeks he's seen a very notable decline in his business. Low kind of fast food type restaurants, and he was just saying, I've seen a notable decline here as folks are starting to get a little bit more concerned that they're not going to be getting that pay, that money at the end of this month. And so, look, I think we're seeing that across the board in some of the low-end consumer-related names, and only exacerbated by SNAP funding not getting paid, or the government not paying out to to government workers. So yeah, there'll be an impetus to try to do something. But look, the Democrats' issue is healthcare, right? And so the way that the budget is right now, 15 million Americans would lose healthcare at the end of the year. And so it's not just as easy as let's fund the government for the million or so federal government workers that are being furloughed. There's a larger issue here, and it's not clear how easily this is going to be to be fixed, and how quickly it's going to be fixed. And every day that goes by where it's not fixed, people get more anxious about their paychecks and about their spending, and so that's likely to filter into worse than expected data as we push through the fourth quarter. Not for AI capex, but for the rest of the economy and the rest of the market.
Yeah, that makes total sense. We're not going to see. I mean, with this QT thing, I know I'm going back to where we started, but we're not going to see another one of those liquidity spikes that we saw. Remember that liquidity spike we saw? I don't know when that was, but where there's no money, the repo facilities are empty. There's going to be trouble with the banks. Is that a possibility to see that again?
I mean, to the degree that it happened in September of 2019, no, because the Fed has put in a standing repo facility this time, and so there's pools of capital that exist for banks that are strained to go find capital when they need them. But is the reduction of QE, this $5 billion going away, is that going to eliminate some of the funding strain? No, we're going to continue to see, some of this elevated funding strain here for banks that are exposed. And as the economy slows, then, banks become a little bit more cautious, want to rein in lending growth. And so that might filter back into the credit market. So far, we really haven't seen a larger move in credit spreads, but episodically in auto loans, in subprime, in certain areas that are tied into communities where there's been a lot of illegal immigrants, those areas have been increasingly strained. And the more this shutdown goes on and the money doesn't come in, you're going to see more banks talk about provisioning for losses. This is not a JP Morgan, Citibank issue. This is more of a tertiary financials issue. You're seeing it in student lenders like Sallie Mae and Navi and SoFi. You're seeing it, in some of those areas of the
Regional
market.
banks.
Regional banks as well, yep.
Yeah. Well, now that you mentioned mortgages, I went back and I kind of tried to figure out what's the average spread between Fed funds and 30-year fixed mortgages. And it's about, on average, and it doesn't move basis point for basis point, but it's about 2.1 or so, 2 to 2.4 over the course of many years separation. And what struck me as interesting is as interest rates drove down to zero, that 30-year kind of stopped going down, right? And so, yeah, some people got threes, rare person got a two, but no one got really a 2.0. So with that in mind, and looking forward now to this new generation we've been talking about not having jobs, is how hard is it for these folks to buy homes for the first time?
Very hard.
Yeah, I think it's a very difficult problem.
Impossible,
It also puts the Fed in a pickle because if they want to run off their mortgage-backed securities from the balance sheet, this allows them to mature without reinvesting, and that typically puts upward pressure on mortgage rates. So it's a very tricky thing for them to do at this point as well, if they don't want to push up mortgage rates.
That's a great point. I didn't think of that. Wow. All right. Well, hopefully no one's going to be hitting me up for a down payment. I'm talking to my children right now.
I just
So look, here
assumed
we are.
my kid's going to be with me forever. So, yeah, I'm just like, you can scoot down the basement whenever you need. It's fine. When the world implodes, at least we've got solar panels, so I'm like moderately prepared.
Oh,
we've got
Willow's so awesome. I'll give her our master bedroom. We'll sleep in the attic.
It's true. I mean,
JP,
she's nice on the stream, but you'll see her in real life. You'll be like, oh, this kid's a bit ornery.
Tracy, what do you got?
So we've got JP Morgan's Michelle is railing on Powell right now. Apparently, JP Morgan is not too happy with Powell, saying he is losing his grip on the Fed. They want Bessent to be in the Fed. And just some generally not nice things about Powell right now. So they're saying how wrong.
Why? What's
Powell
different
is
than
right now.
yesterday?
Nothing.
Oh boy, politics
They
plays.
probably
on,
wanted
doesn't
them to stop QT right this second.
Look,
So now they're upset.
yeah, look, I mean, you had a market that was perfectly priced for today. I think not the equity market per se, but the bond market was expecting 25. Expecting more people were expecting QT to be ended, and it was just very difficult for the Fed to outdove the market expectations. I think that's probably all you're seeing now with this backup in yields moving to the highs. But we'll see, right? We'll see how the press conference goes, and is there a contingent on the Fed now where that doesn't see a December cut as a likely possibility, right? At the September meeting with the dot plot, basically half the Fed, or 8 of the members, were not desirous of a second cut in December. And so, now that you're finally getting a dissent here on the hawkish side, maybe that's an increased, voice that's going to make it more difficult for Powell to deliver that cut. But we know that the economy, the lower end of the economy, the lower part of the K-shaped economy needs that accommodation. So, is the Fed going to fall behind, to that segment of the market? I mean, we'll see. But Powell will be the determinant when he gets those questions in 6 minutes.
Yeah. I gotcha. All right. Well, we're gonna in a minute we're gonna roll into have these wonderful folks trade the close. But let's go around. Any last second thoughts, Shai? Any last second thoughts?
No, Powell's going to start speaking. The markets will likely move as soon as he says hello. And, depending on what, just to realize that, for the next, from 2:30 to, 1:15 or so, the market is not done digesting this yet because Powell is still speaking.
Got it.
Yeah, and then come 4:05, you get Microsoft, Meta, and Google numbers all at the same exact time. I believe they're all at 4:05, so that keeps kind of the daily options for SPY and Q in play here until 4:15. So you got to keep an eye on that too. I think you keep an eye on the VIX. I think we're going to see it, probably stabilize here, maybe grind higher into the close here because we have these big numbers coming after. We have the Xi Trump meeting in the morning, and then we get Apple and Amazon after the close on tomorrow, and then Friday's month end. So still a lot to go here. And if the bond market continues to struggle and the dollar rallies, that's a headwind for equities. Given where we're priced, we could see a little bit of a check back here.
Got it. All right, Shai, Craig, thank you so much for spending this afternoon with us. Great intel as usual. We're going to roll right into trading the close. We're going to get Nick and is it Nick and XYZ? Hang on a second. Yeah, Nick and XYZ are going to pop right back in. So again, thanks, Shai, and Craig. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, guys. Good to hang with you.
Yes.
There we are,
gentlemen.
What's up, everybody?
Well, you guys are up right now. To be exact.
Oh boy.
Thanks for being here, FOMC. So just a couple of notes on the markets real quick before I kind of back out of here. But we had the bonds, they got the memo early. They literally moved a good 15 minutes before anything else. The E-mini S&P now is kind of leaning toward the bottom. We're prices below value right now for the E-mini S&P, looking kind of weak. NASI, same story there with the Nasdaq as well. So with keen resistance in both markets at the top side of the day. What are you guys seeing in the tape, and how are you feeling about it? And we could start in any order.
I'm just waiting for Powell to get what he's got to say off his chest.
Yeah, this thing's not doing anything.
I was looking at gold for a while, scalping the same level over and over, but it has broken now. So that party is over, and they're working lower. So I'm just gonna wait until he's done.
So the real party, that was just the pre-party, man. The real, that was pre-party, right? You go, you drink a couple beers, you pre-party, and then you go to the real deal.
Those are the hotel room Modelos.
By the way, I was surprised. You're a Modelo fan, aren't you?
Big fan. Very clean beer. Very well made.
Yeah.
Always been a fan.
I noticed that in Naples. As a matter of fact, I had to go with Shabs a special beer run for you.
That's how much they like me on this show, folks. I get dedicated Stowe beer runs. You can't beat it.
Nick, how are you feeling about the action going into the Fed meeting?
I mean, pretty balanced day going into the meeting, kind of a non-event reaction with low liquidity from at least equities. So I don't know. I guess we're waiting 2 minutes to see what Powell has to say. I don't have any expectations. I'm just curious, are we going to take out kind of the previous day close, overnight low on NQ, about 60 plus points, a little lower than this.
Did we fill any gaps yet?
Yeah, NQ filled its gap from today. So 1 of 4 is down.
Okay.
There's still 3 down there. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we have that Sunday night gap was huge.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if we're getting back to that one, Jim. Maybe.
I don't know about that one.
I hope not. Otherwise, I'm going to get a call from my
next
dad
year.
about his investment accounts. He's going to be all upset.
Yeah, there's to close them all, it's 25,290 to get all of them. So, it would be 1,000 points. We got 1,000 points to clear, and it ain't showing any signs of slowing down.
Yeah.
Well, everyone wants the gap fills, so I think we're going to go 1,000 points up.
Probably. We'll fill these. Me and XY and Nick will be sitting on a porch somewhere with lemonade when this fills. We're
Yeah,
all
the
under
gap
it.
fill trade's getting a little too crowded.
Little bit. I just want to be in that big iron condor. How do we get into that club? That's where I need to be.
Stop.
Jim.
No, so true story. When I was on the brokerage side, we had a CTA that put their business through us, and they were these. I won't mention their names. You probably wouldn't know them anyway, but they were these two cats brand new MBAs out of Stanford, and they kind of pitched us their program. Iron condors in the futures markets, by the way, for the S&P. And they were the golden child for 3 months, right? Doing great. ROI is awesome. Investors just coming in. My partner, who was actually tried to invest also, he pulled his money. He said, this doesn't sound right. He pulls the money, and then within a month, they stopped answering phone calls. They blew everybody out.
Yikes.
So I had a negative experience with that.
Yeah, it ain't good.
Anyway. All right, you guys. And you're sticking around, right?
Yeah, I'll chill for a little bit. See what these turkeys are talking about.
A three-way?
Little three-way for a while.
Trying to get some.
Hey,
let's see
talk
here.
dirty to me.
Jim's asking production if he can stay because he don't want to miss the three-way right now.
It's true. We could have the quad box going, Jim, if you stuck around.
Red zone in the middle of the week? No way, that's too crazy.
I don't know what quad box means. I don't think I want to know what that means.
You don't watch Red Zone? Jim, you're not a Red Zone guy. Come on.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about something else.
No. Football.
Anyway, sorry about last night, XYZ, with your Dodgers.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Panda
it was
Express
a
for
home
XY
game.
today.
It was a home game. It definitely mattered. Definitely mattered.
Oh, man. Anyway, you got another chance tonight, I think. There's a game tonight, right?
Yeah,
Game
still
5.
home. Yeah, still in LA tonight.
Yeah.
Wait, so baseball goes 2, 3, 2?
It's based on something. I think it's based on who has the best record.
Oh, I see.
They do something for that home field advantage thing. I don't remember what it is.
Is it 3-2-1-1 or 3-2? I'm sorry.
Well, the first two were in Toronto, weren't they?
I'm sorry, 2-3-2 or is it 2-3-1-1?
It might be 2-3-1.
Oh, that's a lot of travel. Okay, Chad's saying 2-3-2.
2-3-2. Okay.
All right,
That 1-1 would be insane on the travel.
Chad knows. All right.
Whoa, somebody says I was right about the purple tie. I freaking knew it.
Oh, gosh.
I'm so good at gambling.
All right, well, just don't do it now, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and dip into the chat. I want to wish you guys the best of luck for any trades that you guys put on today during the press conference, and I'll be rooting for you guys.
Thank you, Jim.
Nick, what you looking at, man? You on NQ, gold?
Yeah, I got NQ up. I was trading it earlier.
I thought it was the last one on an index. Glad to see Nick still hanging with me.
Well, I just couldn't seem to find a decent gold entry, and then I saw it tag 4,000 earlier. There was a little bounce off that, but for the most part, I was kind of married to my 300 short on NQ earlier in the session.
All I had to do was buy this box and line on gold over and over and over. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's great. Look. Quality. There's a little line right here, a box right here. It's been paying.
That's beautiful.
Same
There
one
were some
from,
questions while Craig and Tracy and Jim were all talking about economic stuff about trading, and some people were talking about like they had been trading this, they're getting chopped up. If you trading a FOMC day, especially trading the announcements, it's not really a good idea. I mean, unless you have a really high time frame point of view to get into, especially if you're newer, the only real reason you should be looking at this is to maybe experience what it is like to trade a book with like 25% of the volume on it, because that does happen sometimes. So if you want, just from a pure scalper point of view, just throw yourself into sim and, just feel what this is like. And this is what it's like in a highly volatile environment. Just because the book is, 25% the
It's really
size.
thin. Yeah. Right now it's not thin, not too thin. Well, I'm assuming he hasn't even gotten on yet. But when he gets on, the book just clears out like a ghost town.
Oh, he's
And
on.
No, he's on.
is he on? The book
Yep.
is still
Yeah,
there's
it's not
some
bad.
good size on the book. But yeah, coming back to what I was saying yesterday about decisions, during these pressers and all the data, when the market's moving around like crazy, it's trying to make a decision. If you're going to insert yourself in that environment, you can't come out bloodied and bruised and be surprised, right?
Yep.
It's always let them make their choices, paint a clearer picture for you moving forward, and then you can try to get some edge. But if you're gonna just jump in the middle of the knife fight, you can't be surprised at the results, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get stabbed.
And here's
Like-
the first stabbing.
Yep, there's a stabbing.
There's
From
a
Jerome.
decent stabbing.
Cool. So here's a decision. This is like, I mean, to steal XY's.
Oh, hey, we took out the overnight low and previous day close on NQ. Exactly what I wanted.
Beautiful. One of my favorite things that XY ever says is, would you sit down? It's your sit down at a blackjack table. Like, you get to choose which hands you get to play, and you're kind of facing a dealer that only is getting blackjack right now. There's really no way for you to put two lots into this mayhem and come out anything other than destroyed. So it's all about picking your spots. This is good to observe for sure, because this is wild behavior, but I don't know. I just want people to be careful and not do anything too weird.
Yeah, just because it's wiggling around doesn't mean you have to be engaged in every wiggle. Let them do all they need to do. At some point, the decision will be made. Both sides will agree, and price will start to more steadily move in a direction. And
Oh,
that's when you
Tracy
can-
got it. So, Pal, rate cut in December, far from a foregone conclusion.
Oh,
Ooh.
So,
spooky.
which I guess makes sense. I mean, once again, you got the three biggest macro guys on the network here currently on air, but
That's right.
with the government still being shut down, I don't know if Tracy or Craig mentioned this, but I had this thought of like, if there's no data, if we're not really getting that information and the government shut down, like how confident would the Fed be to continue cutting with absolutely a blind view on what's going on in the US? So that's my thought, at least. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and the other thing too, when you're watching emotional price action, it's very easy to get emotional. So I like to just pull up, I just pull up the big chart and just look at that, and just kind of see what happens. The market can tend to like fill out a bunch of stuff that it's been trying to fill out during this time. So I don't trade it, but I still, I like to look at it. But
Yeah, I mean, if you look for anyone who uses profiles like I do daily, as the market just goes, you can see where structure is less sturdy, where it's weaker. And when the market's in this kind of price discovery, it's going to more or less knife through those spots. And then you'll get these bigger areas where there was a lot of business.
yep.
It'll slow down, and if it cuts through, it'll just keep going to the next spot, to the next. So another thing to consider before you place any. I mean, you shouldn't be. The book is extremely thin right now. It is so thin that there are gaps in prices. So you should not be involved in this for sure.
Oof. Big mad.
Oh, yeah. Like we said, the first stabbing from Jerome. I actually love that. I think we got to keep using that. Maybe coin the phrase on FOMC days. The stabbing.
The stabbing.
That was great.
So there are questions about why does the book thin out then when things like this occur? Well,
Well,
when the market's hanging in the balance of certain numbers, rates, decisions, so and so information, you don't really want to sit with exposure anywhere, right? And it's pretty much just algos moving at this point. So everyone's waiting for more decisions to be made, more certainty, in what someone might say before they start getting back on the book. I think
Well,
that's all it is.
it's like I think about it like I mean, we're a microcosm of why it's so thin. Like we don't want to trade this. Like there's a lot of people that don't want to trade this right now. Rightfully so. Because the larger parties in the market are making decisions that we need to wait until they decide what that decision is.
Yeah,
before we can
for
interact.
I guess for scale, I have two tick compression on NQ DOM. And right now, in those two ticks, each increment has about two lots. That's how thin the book is. You can place a two lot and you can clear an offer.
That's
Right?
crazy.
So yeah, and at some spots it's blanked out zero.
Yep.
Two lots, three lots, four lots. Like that's how thin it is. So
And with how bullish we've been too, like I would not be wanting
right.
to try to catch this
Nope.
for a long time.
So the idea is if it's this thin, no one's willing to step in front of any price. So who are you really playing off of? There's no edge, especially if you're an order flow trader.
Yeah.
Okay.
77s and the 90s on Nasdaq.
Weekly VWAP for NQ.
They are buying those prices. 90s still being bought right here.
So what's the week open stat? I'm just
Well, it's just for Monday and Tuesday, so
yeah, I
mean,
didn't think it extended into Wednesday, but I'd be curious
no,
if we
it did
extended
not.
it.
Well, we hit ES hit its
Right,
weekly
that's true.
open. So I was kind of just giving NQ the benefit of ridiculousness.
Yeah. When there was 40 partnership press releases for Nvidia yesterday, it's hard to get any sort of bearish movement
Yes.
from
Yes,
NQ.
even Nick launched his own SPAC.
Yes, if you guys didn't see that. I too am partnering with
This is
Nvidia.
like, what was it, 2021? It was all about SPACs.
Yep.
2022, 2021. Everyone's got a
Yes.
SPAC. Chamath got like 4 SPACs up.
He's the king of
Uh-huh.
SPACs.
I'm still waiting for a couple of those.
Yeah, right now, there was some big buying in the mid 90s to low 90s. I'm guessing, I think I probably saw at least 300 lots to hit offer, and they're not having a good time. So I think
Nope.
supply could be really entering the market.
Yeah. ES just wicked its week open again, Stowe.
Yep.
NQ's got a casual 350 plus points to still get there. But hey, we could maybe close 2 of the 4 gaps. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean it's 300 points and then
And
even,
then
and then another 200 to fill its
Yeah.
cap.
It's from Friday, which is just okay. Oh, not even
You guys
Friday.
ready?
Not even the Friday gap from CPI.
Are you guys ready for all the short callers?
Yeah, everyone's gonna say
Tonight-
we're gonna see it's so
Oh,
over
it's my
now.
favorite.
They're gonna
Nice.
give you a chart pattern and tell you that that's why it happened.
I mean, I told you guys it was over yesterday, remember? On stream. I said this
He
is it.
did.
I said this is it. And what did Nick do?
He called it before the others.
I had to close my eyes basically to short 300 today and was finger on flatten like several times as it was just balancing around 260.
You traded NQ today?
Yep. I had a good trade. I was down to runners when we were screwing around like 215 when Stowe was on.
Book is
Yeah, so the
still
best
open.
NQ could do was to revisit the 30-second opening range from Monday and then explode. So that was interesting.
So for anyone looking at my chart right here, this is my 1 hour with the daily profiles. So you can see
Holy
exactly
Moses.
why these matter, right? As soon as price finds an old spot where there was, well, if you build this kind of profile and it goes up, there's a lot of demand, right? There's bid. And this is what's happening now. It's not to say that, oh, it's going to hold whatever, but structurally, price is going to go, especially on catalysts like this, they're going to go until they find the next spot with liquidity. And this is how you spot them. And the spots that lack it, they're going to just go through. So say we trade down here, this is thinness to say the least. It's probably going to do some heavy price discovery through this.
We're red,
Yeah, they
guys.
just-
Is that even allowed anymore?
They just came right back and
Also, buying is illegal right now.
There's not a lot of benefit to more balance sheet runoff.
This is some
Okay.
pretty two-way tape right here.
Right
Very
at the
Yeah.
week view up.
they're definitely talking down there.
Yep.
Back above. Ooh, okay.
Where did ES bounce?
Just no, it's just 68, 80, 82. They both just went back to the Monday 30-second opening range. So like
Yeah.
the beginning of I mean, you can this is kind of a thing you can look at. If you have a trend day that is an extreme trend, you can kind of mark out that day's 30-second opening range if you want to make it more of a zone. And when that gets revisited on a day like today, that's a good clue to see, are buyers still down there? Because this is still an auction. It doesn't necessarily matter to traders all over the place what specifically the algo is hating about Powell's speech right now. But
I mean, the
two big
algos
buyers,
was hate
113
selling it.
and 119.
it was hate selling. But I mean, somebody's buying it. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
gonna be in some serious pain shortly or not, but ES can't get back above 903. It's previous day low. Maybe they'll take a shot now.
I mean, generational dip buy here.
Need to clear it. Need to clear the 903.
Yeah, and this was a good spot for them to try and hold. We did see a lot of two-way tape, a lot of buying, a lot of selling right here.
I don't know.
There is a chance if they come back to it and hold it again that this could mark a low.
Yeah, there's definitely a passive seller at the previous day low now. At that 903, 905.
Yeah.
It's putting in a ton of volume.
Bid is willing right now. They're trying their best. If they can't continue
know.
lower here, this could probably be a really, really good hold.
NQ looks ugly.
To say the
Yeah,
least.
it's not happy either.
Let's see how enthusiastic all those buyers are from early part this week on defending those positions.
It's the third test.
I'd like to see them test below 80s again.
Yeah.
I mean, price is not seen since yesterday morning.
Right. That's what I mean about the emotional, weirdness stuff. Is it's like I know this seems like the market has crashed, but that's just because we're really zoomed in all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nothing but a pullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally XY is just like right to yesterday's value.
Literally
It
just
stops.
where there was enough liquidity yesterday that pushed price out of it. It's just,
GC
A
had a
little bit
nice
of
little
good for
move
that.
down too. Coming back to that 3960 spot that I feel like everyone's talking about.
I feel like these sellers are gonna get smoked. They can't pull it off.
Yeah.
I got no skin in the game. I'm just rooting for somebody.
You
I'm
just
just
hope
rooting
both
for-
teams
Oh,
have
come
fun.
on, come on. If you love America, you got to root for the buyers. You know what I mean? Stowe is anti-establishment, though. You never
It's
know.
true. It's very
You
true.
never know.
No, I root for the bid
Oh, we know that.
because bears are, they're a little
No
grouchy.
one loves a bid more than this guy.
That's right. Whew. They are trying so hard to sell this thing.
Chat's like, fill the gap, damn it.
Which gap, guys? There's
Fill the
several.
gap, damn it. That's
Which
why
one?
it's gonna go up 1,000 points.
Fill the gap.
All we did was fill today's gap or last
Ah,
night's
man,
gap.
they didn't come back to the 70s and the 60s.
No, they did not. Oh,
Yeah. Book's still quite thin.
Yeah.
and Q testing its overnight low.
Well, if anyone can let me know when he's done talking, that'd be nice.
I mean, it's normally like 30 minutes, right? Something like that.
I think is he? I don't know if he's gotten.
You could probably tell
Questions
just by
yet.
looking at the book if
Okay,
liquidity
yeah.
starts coming back.
They're doing questions, so he's done with his statement at least.
A little Q&A.
The Q&A is where it can get weird.
Yep.
Yeah, you think it's all settled, and then he gives an answer, and then you're trading 29K.
Yep.
As
Or
soon as he has
22K.
the fills,
Or
the
1K.
talking will
yes.
stop. Yeah, you think it was Mr. Powell filling these 60s and 70s out here in NQ?
Somebody bought 68.90 like crazy too. But now there's a bunch of liquidity just parked now. It's 69.10. We'll see if he gets,
Whoa.
yep, he got consumed. Rippy mode. Yep.
Yep.
Party on.
Till the market finds an angry seller again, which might already be cooked.
That's ES's weekly view up. I wonder if we did the whole thing. I bet we did.
Someone said, guys, we're going to 10K. Just not sure if ES or NQ.
Exactly.
Huh, we did. Yep.
What are you
ES
using to see volume? A depth of market price ladder. Dom, you can see like the passive orders. Very thin still. A little thicker
ES
than earlier.
traversed its whole value. Yeah, its whole weekly view up all the way to 68.94.
Dude,
Yep.
69.10 on ES. There's a lot of buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it tested just one more time in here. Perfect spot too.
Not bad. Aramis, this is freaking nuts. Yeah, man.
What's funny is this presser, everything going on right now may not matter an hour from now when Meta, Microsoft,
Oh,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Google report.
everyone's just trying to outshine each other, huh?
Bunch of clout chasers.
Yeah, we can't let him take all the credit for this. Well, I mean, the range still is just what, 277 on NQ. Just what, 2, 3?
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
even
close.
just 2 years ago, an FOMC day will give you 500 to 700 point range at the first go in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll be getting insane range back and forth.
Yeah, I was almost very disappointed when we were starting his presser and basically nothing was happening. We were still in the 100-point range that was NQ's value today. So thank goodness, some volatility.
I wonder how Mr.
Yeah.
Condor's doing. Hope he's okay.
I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he was the bidder on ES
Yep.
back
Like,
towards
get this back in there,
68.50.
please.
How's those chart patterns working out? XY was talking about earlier. I don't. Oh, the chart patterns. The ultimate sell signal. It wasn't news. It was just chart pattern.
I thought the ultimate sell signal was when I say I'm never going to sell again. Has that been replaced?
I mean, that was a top. Honestly, that's top two. Top two Stowe Stowe signals.
Yeah, I think Stowe literally caused the Valentine's Day OPEX massacre back in
I did.
February with that statement.
I'm sorry about
It's like
that.
someone slid the president a little note. He opens it and it just says, Stowe says, I'll never sell again. And he's like, you know what to do. The time has come.
All right. Well,
We're back.
we're back. And just like that, we're so back. It could be over again once we get
You know
back
what's
to
funny? Just
69.30.
what? 10 minutes ago, everyone was like, all right, gap fill, which gap we at?
Mm-hmm.
We've got gaps. Let's look at the gaps downside. And the market's like, oh,
Do you know how many gaps we filled? 0.
it's like, stop talking about the
None.
gap fill or I'm turning this car around. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we at the gap yet? Shut up or I'm turning this car around.
And all the way back. Well, that was fun. Good game, Bears.
It'd be fun if we had a position down here. Just one more test was all I wanted, man. They got close.
I mean, it would have been fun if NQ could have came down towards yesterday's RTH lows around 26K. That would have been fun.
Chris, have you been playing the double barrel dojis?
I also put a view up from the weekly open for some reason. It's just because we've got all these gaps. I just wanted to see where that was going to be hanging out from, and it's right here too. So this is an interesting spot in a couple ways. I'm coming back.
They're angry again.
69.10.
XY, what's gold doing?
Is he not going to tell you?
I don't know if he was
Is it a
even heard me.
secret? Did he get muted?
What?
What's gold doing, sir?
What's gold doing? The
Yeah.
same thing, but slower. My bad. I was typing something out.
You're good.
Yeah, but same thing, but slower. That's all
I was just checking in since I know you are you're just a gold trader now.
Oh, it's just me getting liquidated. Oh yeah, I was quiet because I had just lost everything.
Just got margin called. It's okay.
Yeah, I was answering an email, margin call email.
Just delete the app.
Just go ahead
Who
and
is this?
log out for me. Eh?
Oh, good. Andy's getting destroyed on sim. Good. That's good practice. Now, later,
Getting destroyed in real life.
you could feel very good that this didn't happen to your actual money. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it seems like it's stair stepping back up. NQ above its overnight low. ES is still not, so there's still some room. It's probably going to close right at the point of control.
It's still like pretty mega bid right now.
Yeah. Well, homies, I got to go. I can't hang the whole time. I got stuff to
Fine.
do.
Are you
I'm
sure?
sorry. Yes, I'm
Fine. Go
positive.
then.
I would love to. Also, I'll talk to you guys in about 5 hours anyway. So
Oh, are we doing podcast
Why?
tonight?
yeah, we got to record, baby.
Oh,
Mm. This is also my way to subtly remind you that we have a
dude,
podcast to
I
record in 5
totally,
hours.
yeah. All
All
right.
right.
All right,
I
we'll do some podcasting. You can go ahead and think of a topic while you're
I'm going to. I'm going. Yep,
going
I'm going to
wherever
work
you're
on that.
going.
I got to do. Yeah, I got to do some live reads. I'm gonna inject some more music. I got a lot of stuff to do.
Ooh, okay. All right, man. I'll catch you in 5.
All right, homies. Sounds good.
later, buddy.
Where's Reginald? Yes, where's Reginald, man? Oh, I see Dr. Steve is filling in.
No, we didn't let Kane know ahead of time that we were going to do this. So Kane will probably be in one of the next ones. Of course, we fumbled the bag, not realizing that Kane was in the U.S. for several weeks in a row, where we could have just
Oh,
recorded
yeah.
a podcast at a reasonable time for everybody. So that's on us as well. We're
That
doing great,
is
guys. I promise. We're doing real well with this.
that is true. We had a good window there. So I had dreams of longing gold, but being greedy for a better price just left me in the dirt. Same thing with NQ. Dreams of longing this spot on one more retest. No go.
Is
So
that
now we
a
wait.
Magic Box proprietary?
No, it's just literally this.
Just the value area. Got it.
Just volume that led to a drive. That's all I do on high time frame, actually. Mark out the volume.
So far, they're still defending that, like, basically the lows of RTH.
Hmm. Yeah, NQ and gold are doing the exact same thing. They're just back to the scene of the crime and they're trying to figure out if it's going to be a reoffer or the offer was fake the entire time. So we'll see. They did find a really big seller on gold coming back.
And we still got an hour.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry to get into anything
And then
right now.
and then the Super Bowl of earnings.
I might try to get a gold short if they can chill out for a second, come back.
Yeah, this was an area, or that like 85 area yesterday. I was shorting a couple times. Sellers trying again here. I don't even want to play any more GTA 6 before the playbook. Guys, I promise the site will be finished soon enough. That's really funny though. You will have the playbooks out before GTA 6. I promise.
I don't know. I can't put my money on that one. Yeah, sure.
Well, the assets from XY and I have been sent. At least the first asset from me.
Yes. My
We're
playbook
just
has
we're
been
just
done.
cleaning up the website a little bit.
All right. It looks like it's going to be an offer and I'm thinking I'm going to take the gold offer over the NQ here. Guys, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Nick, do you have a YouTube channel? No, never started actually started one. That was originally kind of a plan, but no, I don't. And any content that I start creating, we're just going to throw on PTT,
Yeah, you're
including
starting a
videos and
SPAC
stuff.
instead.
Yeah, I am starting a SPAC with NVIDIA. We are entering into a partnership.
All right, new low on gold. No new low. I won't get that greedy. We'll just get right here. I'm gonna probably tighten this break even now.
I really want to see if we're going to take out this low, because down here would be interesting. The week mid so far,
Yeah, I'll give this more room.
previous day low.
If gold holds here where the initial volume was before the move up, I'm so cooked. If not, I will probably add another to this. We'll see what happens. NQ's got that higher low. Perfect spot too. So that's a choice. That is definitely a choice. Keeping an eye on my gold right now, my gold short. Potentially add on one more.
Will the playbook be up before SPAC gets S1 approval? Probably not. Man, this is just a hot mess on equities. I mean, all these sellers just got cooked. Pour one out for these guys. Can't even see how many that was. Couple hundred.
Gold is a bit slow now, right here.
Kind of funny how bent people get over something that is free. I know, guys. We're trying our best. It's gonna be out.
I'm out of that gold trade. I had $1,000 open too. One lot only sucks.
Yeah, it's crazy the ATR on short time frame right now in gold.
Yeah,
How like 10 points is, when it's kind of consolidating or whatever, you're like, oh, this is boring again.
this is
It's not moving 10
2
points in 5 minutes.
attempts gold in the low volume spot. So I think downsides are out of the picture. See, yeah, NQ definitely made that choice right here. Ran into a passive bid and just gave it up. So it's going to be higher. For NQ, gold looks maybe the same. Still is looking at gold. Do want a short structure on gold? No. I would have loved to, but I hate when things just like tap into things. I want to see a reaction. I want to see a setup. I want to see some order flow. A lot of people really like levels hitting hit to the tick, but I don't really put out blind limit orders like that. So I need to see more. I like when my areas see trade so that I can gauge. Yeah, I don't want to just blindly get in. It's just not my thing. I know a lot of people do it to great success, but yeah, I don't do that. Still looking at gold here. They found a lot of buying in this range. Held it higher. I don't know if It can crawl back through this though. 80s.
There's a seller here, like 210s to the 205.
Yeah,
Someone keeps
I hate the
refreshing.
NQ short because of what just happened when they tried
I
that lower
know.
right
It just
there.
got rejected again. Someone's holding it right here. What is ES doing? Yep. There it goes.
Yeah, they're finding some serious supply over there on NQ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Interesting because it
try
took
another gold long.
we couldn't push to 200s earlier today when I was trying to cover my runners from 300. Like we had no interest apparently in trading down here. Now we can't get back above into range.
Yeah, no luck on this gold long for me. I lied. There's plenty. What else short on NQ? Yeah, I don't like the NQ short because of this. They should have been able to break this, but they found a bid that pushed it up, and coming back to where that bid was, they couldn't get to it. In fact, they just stopped trying after they ran into it passively. So to me, the decision was, they're not going to move this thing lower. And if I see that as a decision, I'm not going to try to take the market lower. I'd rather take it higher, but I don't want longs right here. So I can't do anything with NQ, unfortunately. With gold, honestly, I'm starting to regret this trade because this is a pretty key decision spot. They're going to have to move through this low volume area for me to get a decent move. I'm seeing this as two attempts outside down here. So it should be same idea as they've made the choice once, twice that they don't really want to go lower, which is why I got in these longs. Try to add one more and keep gold here. So I'll start moving my risk up. With gold. If it starts to get a little dicey, I will take risk off as well. But we'll see with gold. Indices still giving it a shot there. Gold's looking all right.
Yeah, that passive seller's still there on NQ, but so far nothing happening.
Yeah, NQ's in a spot where I cannot initiate a trade, so just looking over at gold. Gold's trying.
Pal said this time is different. In what context? I don't have my fancy mixer, so I can't listen to my other stream in my ears.
All right, I've got my risk on gold reduced pretty heavily here. We're gonna go towards a take profit, hopefully. Gold is still catching a decent bid.
And Q still holding.
Oh, let's get it.
VIX retreating to its cave.
Gold's trying to fill in some volume. Still a pretty strong bid on indexes, it looks like that.
Yeah, NQ has really done nothing. Just kind of chopping in like a 20-point range. ES, same thing, basically. Just kind of stuck around this 69.15.
I've had 2 chances at $1,000 on gold, and I've taken neither of them. Do I have a set range on gold for TP? No. I just follow like the markets, the range and the structure and stuff like that. Although we had pretty decent profits on the table, that wasn't enough to make the risk make sense. So it's kind of like I didn't put on this risk to just take, a 1R on it. The first trade, the short worked nicely. I think I hardly had any risk and it went like $900, but I was hoping for a crack and just a new low. No go. But that's how it goes. I'm comfortable here because I've been able to tighten up the risk on this trade quite a bit as it's been going in my favor. So just sitting on it. I think I want it to see it go back into this range. And that's the idea for the trade. Otherwise, it's not worth taking that long for anything less than that.
Is this going to roll?
If gold can do a hold here, I will add a third since the range has been tight or the risk has been tightened. But we'll see. They've got some things to figure out.
Yes, looks like it may push lower again. Yep. Or did Pal finish speaking? Nope. Still talking.
All right, I'm adding a third here. Let's see what we could get.
I accidentally was in 5 GC contracts yesterday at one point. Because I it was like,
Accidental 5 GC is
well, I was trying to
that's scary.
exit and I accidentally added more as it was moving. I was trying to scale and I was like, oh crap, I'm in 5 and it never flattened, but it kept going in my favor. So it worked for at least a couple extra $100, but kind of panic flattened the whole thing after that.
Gold just took me up. Next one, move up your TP and it'll run 6%. Yeah, gold's now just in a really sticky spot. Decision point.
Yeah, this 60s to 85 spot the last 2 days has been choppy.
NQ potentially a third or another higher low, second higher low. It's possible.
Yeah, do you want to draw a proprietary line?
No, I can't show that off too much. Can't show that. I got to keep it scarce. 112 CL contracts. Okay.
What?
Okay.
You want proprietary lines? Oops.
That's too many. Yeah, I think so. Is he still talking? Is he done? Book's still kind of thin in Q, huh? But a lot thicker than earlier.
Hundred and twelve CL. It's like 5 MNQ. Hey, Kane.
What's up, Kane?
Kane, you're gonna stay up till 2 a.m. and do the podcast with us tonight, right? Let's see if this proprietary line wants to hold. An edge alert. Treasury bonds priced crossed below 1-day min, trading at 118, and I don't remember how to read bond prices. 118.09.
Gold found some unrewarded selling. I was too late. I was too slow on that.
Yeah, yields are not happy, are they?
Too slow, too slow. You talking about the trade from last night, Kane?
Yeah, Kane, you had a good gold trade, didn't you?
The one that you said you were holding forever?
I was debating on trading gold last night, but then that like
Like
violent
Globex?
liquidation candle. Yeah, because I was sitting around and I was kind of bored for a little bit.
There was like
But
some
that like
insane drop, right?
there was like yeah, like a massive drop 5 minutes in, and I was like, yeah, nope, this is why I don't trade Globex.
Oh, that was when he got limited. Yeah, look at this. Okay, fine, gold. Be that way.
And
That's my fault. I was kind of slow to get back in,
now we're popping.
but gold's doing it without me. That's cool. Totally not salty about that. Oh, a different trade.
So far, proprietary line is holding. Ugh, I don't want to short this. I don't want to long it.
Gold just failed a move up. I need to get like a gold footprint up or something. All right, I'm gonna try gold.
We had a nice move down. And now it's just been violent chop ever since. Yes, Kane is a huge gold guy now.
Big gold guy.
Big gold guy. So is XY. Apparently Leo too, which is
I'm trying to
probably
get
why.
everybody. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get everybody to move over with me, you know?
I mean, I was trading gold like 3 weeks ago before it was cool.
I know. I feel like it was longer than that,
I mean,
honestly.
it was because I just finally like listened to Pax and reminding me that the pit open is like an hour earlier. So instead of wasting time in the pre-market, like staring at nothing happening in equities, it's like, hey, something actually can trade. So decided to do that a little bit.
Where should I TP this? Never.
Are you short gold again?
I want it. Yeah. I want to add. I wanted to get another lot on, but it just kind of just started running, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna chase this thing.
I mean, you
So I'm
30
sitting on one lot again.
I don't think you can cover before 60 personally.
I'm gonna check out the 65s with this little volume here. We'll
That's
see. Unless
that
they
was
bounce it, try to add another one. So
that's
Dr.
right.
Z says people used to tell me I was on crack for trading GC. I was like, yes, but that's not why. All right, that's a bid. Okay, cool. Chill out, man. All right, I'm adding to the short. Am I gonna die? Pause.
Is presser over yet?
If I actually get stopped on this short, it's 3 occasions where I had almost 1,000 open profit that I didn't take. It's one of those days where it's like, could be totally different if you had just done one little thing differently. Ended. He's done talking.
I don't think it's over. Oh, it just ended. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now we can go back to chopping inside of today's range, which is where NQ is currently sitting. So that was basically the equivalent of a non-event, as NQ is now up 0.25% again.
Am I using a DOM for gold? No, I should really make it. I've been kind of lazy, but I should get to that. I think it would help quite considerably. I've been put
Okay.
Special guest alert.
Well, since everyone loves getting their macroeconomic information from people smarter than XY and I, we're going to be bringing in Tracy to actually recap Powell's presser for you guys. And here she is.
Surprise.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Surprise! How are you doing?
Can't
Oh,
complain.
so, right. Well, I mean, just as the kind of the market looks, obviously, he started off very hawkish, kind of went a little more dovish, and then kind of a mixed message at the end. So I'll just go over some of the bigger points that he said. First, well, we know that the market dumped on him, saying a rate cut in December is far from a foregone conclusion. The markets obviously didn't like that. He said if the data show a better job market, that would also affect decision, meaning they would be more inclined to hold at the December meeting. He talked a little bit about the stopping of QT. He said he's waiting till December because that'll give markets some time to adapt to that situation. What else? He said, there's low job loss claims suggest it's only a gradual labor market cooling. We'll have a picture of the economy, but not a detailed field because of the government shutdown. But they do have a lot of alternative sources that they are looking at. And talked a little bit more about the labor market not declining as quickly as they thought. So that was kind of all the things that he talked about when the market was going down. He kind of eased up his stance a little bit in saying, we are still worried about inflation. We're still worried about the job market. One is saying cut rates, which is the job market, and one is saying hold rates, which is obviously inflation. So that kind of led the market to think, well, maybe we'll still get a cut in December. And by the way, the market is still factoring in about a 39% cut in December, even though it was over 50 before. What else did he say that was interesting? I have so many notes. So then he was talking about inflation, saying non-tariff inflation is not far from our 2% goal. So he's kind of justifying the cut right now and alluding to maybe we will have a December cut after all. So it was kind of a very mixed message situation that's going on right now. He also said he doesn't see too much leverage in the financial system. He thinks AI is different than the 1990s, as companies have earnings rather than ideas. So I guess this is not the 1990s that everybody's talking about in his mind anyway. He also talked about AI investment is clearly one of the big sources of growth, but consumer spending is bigger than the AI investment, even though it's only coming from the upper high end of the K economy and not from the lower end. When asked about the subprime auto loan problem, he doesn't see this as a broader issue yet, even though we are seeing some stress in the credit markets. And then talked a little bit about inflation, saying it's transitory because, we might get 3-4 more tenths of a percent on inflation, but it's a one-time deal. And after the higher price level is achieved, it stops going up. So that's no longer counted in inflation. And so he said when asked, because the market, I think, was very surprised that we had not Moran thinking that we should have more a higher rate cut, but that we had Schmid dissent on that. And so he said, there are some in the committee that think it's time to step back. This is kind of what he ended up with, because we have this problem with maybe a weaker labor market, but higher inflation. And we think that, and that's kind of why we see this dissent between the members. And that's kind of where he ended it.
Thanks, Tracy.
Sorry, I rambled a little bit there. I mean, he said a lot in that thing, but the point of the whole situation, he was, it was a lot of mixed messages in that. And so I think the markets don't really know exactly what to do with that whole situation, because everything was kind of hinged on this. We want QT now, and we want to be sure that there's, a cut in December in the market. That's kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah, I can't complain. I think Tracy's my good luck charm. I just had a 3-lot gold short just pay.
Oh, we went to
Woohoo.
60s.
Yeah, she's my good luck charm. She should stay. She can't leave anymore.
Anyway, with that, you guys, I will leave you to this, and I will be in the chat for earnings, of course, after the bell.
Thank you,
Thanks
Tracy.
for hopping on. Yeah, Jeremy Pursley, you saw that, huh? Now that was the trade I was looking for sure.
His tie was, in fact, purple, as is tradition. I think the markets might panic if it wasn't purple, to be honest.
Did you really short that with me? Oh, Dr. Steve, my bad. I just saw that. Yeah. So when price does reach a reference spot, I want to see what it does in that reference spot. What price does outside of it doesn't matter nearly as much. So the reason I got back into shorts was, they had trouble building volume into this spot right here. Obviously, my reference is higher. They've already made that choice. Coming back, they could have reached it, right? If they're going to hold higher, they should have. But when they finally reached this zone of low volume, they didn't build any. So to me, it's like, all right, well, if you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. You made your choice. So I made mine accordingly. I started to leg into shorts, ended up in 3 lots, and it finally washed when my good luck charm, Tracy, finally hopped on. So Kane says check disc. Oh, Kane, dude. It's the exact same trade. You guys want to know what the difference between Kane and I's trade is? Same spot, same lot size, except he's making way more money because he's still holding on to it.
Best part about proprietary trend lines is I can just moved them, so they're still accurate.
You can literally never be wrong.
Yeah, still right.
Yeah, I wanted to hold one of the three for lower, but they just kind of stalled in the 67, 66 is too long. And I was like, you know what? I'm not letting this come back again. So I was down like 1600 at the time too. 1500, 1600. So
So now we're
I'm
great on the
happy
day.
now. Definitely.
All right, we're gonna change the energy here.
Yeah, they did mess with me, man.
So equities are
But that's
just
why I can live vicariously through Kane now. Big gold guy, that Kane.
yeah. I think all of us are just big gold guys now. That's what happens. Can't trade all-time highs. You're tired of trading all-time highs. Just move on to another instrument, apparently. I tried to set the tone for the week by offering the logic of trading soybeans and just probably just getting long soybeans. I don't know what's going on with the old
Well,
ZS today, but
now that gold's kind of burnt out, you need to find another one to trade. So you could, I mean, who knows? Next week you might come on stream and you'd be like, big soybeans guy.
huge soybeans guy.
I'm a big soybeans guy.
I'm literally making a DOM for soybeans right now. I'm sure that the spread is huge. I would imagine so.
Inner Circle is trading OJ. It's funny how NQ just does nothing for just a few days and everyone's like scattered like roaches into new markets.
Well, it's like anything else. Like gold has been moving and has been you've been able to make good money trading gold. Where NQ, it just seems like if you don't get early into a long, you feel like you're tracing. And we have 4 days in a row that we're gapping up, and it's just very hard in situations like that for me to take any long whatsoever. So I end up in situations like today where I'm shorting the all-time high, which is not a long-term strategy of success. Is gold going to continue to break down towards that liquidation candle at 39.30 from last night? Kane's long-term strategy is to watch XY trade and just copy.
Well, I just put in the Discord. I was like, Kane took my own trade idea and executed it 3 times better than I did. Ask me anything. Just to copy it, but do it way better. Isn't that business 101? Just do what they're doing, but better.
Micro Bitcoin going to see action soon. What is the Bitcoin doing today? It's still selling off. Actually, it's been kind of selling off all day.
I mean, hopefully Kane gets a huge flush lower. They were tickling close to that stop for a second, but they need to knock it off.
Yes, the Bitcoin.
The Bitcoin. Everyone, all the regulars on this channel know it's the Bitcoin. All right, well, gold stopped moving. NQ is still doing the same thing.
Yep, just a quick test below my proprietary line, and then nice little delta flip
How
and
many
move up.
times have you moved it?
Just twice.
Yeah, I find that the more you move it, the more proprietary it gets.
Exactly.
The effect grows greater.
Haters will say you can't do that.
Dude, I think it's gonna flush this thing soon, like super flush.
I just loved yesterday it front running 3,900 by like one, I think was the low.
Dude, gold has been great to me. You see like this little line right here earlier, I just kept buying it in this 1 hour candle. And then when FOMC before the press came out, they kept, look what they did. They kept bidding this thing over and over for huge quick jumps.
Mm-hmm.
And after the first slice, they built zero volume, nothing done. Again, line pays, instant 20 points. Yeah, that was awesome until it wasn't anymore. And then now
Proprietary lines.
it's a good line. Very easy too. You guys want to know how I got the line? Super easy. Check it out. Um, it's just taper, low volume area. All right. If they can't trade under it, we just long it. That's the line. Needs nothing further.
Has Nick joined the GC crew? Actually, Nick was the OG of the GC crew.
Nick was GC before the GC crew was made.
Yep.
But now that it's not that fashionable anymore, he has to go find a new market. So he's thinking soybeans maybe.
Yeah. Once all the boys got into it, I know the volatility is going to go to zero. So it's time to start looking elsewhere.
Nick started it, but XY took over. Yeah, I kind of pushed him to the side, like, yeah, you find something else. I'll take it from here. It's now become crowded. I'm gonna take it from here and take the credit. Just go over there, soybeans or something.
Yeah, we're gonna
Here's the
trade.
flush.
I'm gonna go to ag. I feel like that's my place.
Egg. So I'm gonna wait until it starts moving, then I'm gonna go over there and tell Nick, like, scram. I got this.
Yeah, for you, it would be like the shortest trading day ever trading ag because it closes early as it is, and it isn't open. It just has those weird hours.
So you're telling me I won't be able to get any trades off.
I don't know. You might have to wake up early.
So I'm not getting any trades off. Got it. Cane cover 46. Nice fucking trade, man. Damn. Hell yeah.
Wait, it went to 46. Damn.
We got
Oh
algo
yeah,
soon.
nice little flush. Came with like a casual like 40 points in gold in 10 minutes. Well, what a boring FOMC. Only to be outdone by 3 of the Mag 7 and 2 more of them tomorrow.
You did
After
this.
which
You did
we
this to
have,
yourself because you put that line there.
I know, look, the line is still holding,
If
everybody.
you didn't have it there, it'd be different. Someone asked, when does Kane sleep, man? Money doesn't sleep, so why should Kane?
But apparently he does sleep because he doesn't want to do the podcast with us tonight. So apparently like 2 a.m. is like too late. Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Not like he trades London, streams, is still hanging out for the New York close. Not like that's a long day or anything.
That's why he makes the big bucks. When Kane goes to sleep, the market stops moving. So careful what you wish for, guys.
Dang, proprietary line keeps working. Yes, XY does go to sleep as soon as the market closes.
As soon as the stream ends.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. Charts are only open when the streams are on. Gold is just melting.
Oh yeah, still going lower. But this is why we should be trading gold, because NQ ain't doing anything.
Yeah, Jason, I that was my last trade, that gold short, because I don't think it gets better for me from then. I've had 2 trades with good profits come back to me, and I gotta book that one. Gotta book that one. You forgot to ask for likes. Oh yeah, guys, please. Still got 700 by himself. I mean, that's why he's the professional, you know. Please hit the likes, and if you haven't, please subscribe. Even Kane's hanging out. It's like who knows
Yeah.
what time over there, you know? So hit the likes.
And also, if you have not registered, you haven't had the opportunity to compete in one of the qualifiers for the Arena Cup, there is still time to register for the final qualifier on Monday that I will be trading in, as well as Chris, Merritt, Pax, Sarah, and I think that's it. Maybe I'm forgetting one person, but I feel like that's the group. So the link is pinned to the top of the chat if you have not had the opportunity to register. Qualifier 3 on Monday, November 3rd.
Yeah, Aramis. I'm gonna start saying that. That's a good one. I'm gonna start telling people that. Yeah, Kane, and I say it all the time, that's like my biggest weakness as a trader is being able to hold on to stuff. I mean, when you got a chance at like 4K profits and that's coming from like 1600 in the red, makes it even harder for me to hold. So that's what I am though. I'm a scalper. It's gonna happen. I joke about it. It actually doesn't bother me that I took it off way sooner than Kane, but different styles. That's why he makes the big old bucks, you know.
Is ES doing anything? No. Yeah, that's the worst feeling, Kane, is the round trip to break even.
Yeah, round trips, they get me in a bad way, man.
It
So
just it screws my day up. I don't mind doing them if I'm like already green on the day, but it's like those on NQ that are like 3, 4, 5,000 that come all the way back to break even. It's just like, what am I doing?
the crazy part is like people would always ask me through the years, like, do you think, if you gather data on whether you held your trades longer, whether you just held on to the winners, would your equity curve be better than what it is now? And I would always say yes, absolutely it would, but I simply cannot. My mental framework cannot handle that, and that's why I don't. Even as I can sit here and say with full confidence that yes, if I had held longer, if I do hold longer, my equity curve would be better. It just doesn't work for me. I've tried for a while, and I'm a lot more consistent and a lot more green when I just do things how it's more comfortable to me. So I can't. But I do think, yes, if I managed trades more like Kane and took the break evens or the big payouts, big paydays, big winners, it would be better. I just literally can't. And I stopped trying. Easier to hold if sizing smaller, absolutely. But the issue with me sizing smaller is I won't get off the charts faster, right? It's like earlier, I had a open profit $901,000, but it was one lot. I Yeah, it's just it wouldn't cut it for me. Um, and then after that, I had 1,000 open profits with 3 lots before it came back. But it's like I have three. Why did I risk 3 lots with a stop to take 1,000 on them? It makes no sense, right? Um, a lot of things come into play. So
Well, we are a minute away from the market on close algo, or the Kane algo as it's known here. And then we'll be followed up 5 minutes after the bell with Meta, Microsoft, and Google's earnings. So if maybe we're gonna hit another all-time high today, who knows? Or with those three, God knows we could actually fill all of the gaps still remaining from Friday and beyond. Uh, WQL, you are given a sim account for the Arena Cup. So as soon as you register, one will populate in
Attention
your.
traders, it's algo time.
Thanks, Kane. One will populate in your Ninja account.
Yep, MGM, that's how I do it. I'll take my money off the table when the idea has conveyed and leave a runner or something and just go about my day. I do like that it helps me to just get off the charts too. A lot of times it'll take a while for a broader idea to play out, and I just don't want to sit around for it. I like being in and out of the charts pretty quick. Different strokes. NQ. So that was fake news, that's selling right into this
Yeah, the entire day
volume right here.
just erased back to value from the session. In fact, the point of control for RTH, where NQ is likely going to close as we wait for three of the largest bellwethers.
This is the entirety of my alpha and high time frame charting, guys. You find volume that led to something and look for it to do it again. And that's all it is. Market is liquidity seeking. And if it goes back to old liquidity and that liquidity led to a bid, see if there's going to be a bid.
Oh, what a slop fest of an FOMC.
Did you get any trades off today?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good day.
No,
I was short from.
I mean for the close,
Oh, no.
NQ just kind of didn't really give too much.
Yeah. Back to point of control. NQ is just sloppy. I mean, I wasn't gonna unless you caught the liquidation as soon as Powell said no rate cut December, maybe. Then we just drifted back up.
Do I mark LVNs and make trades around? Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, this gold one, I marked a low volume. I marked like a drop off. We'll call it a drop off in volume right here. This is the line. So usually my zones, if you see a zone is volume. It's going to be, okay, liquidity is here. Coming back down to a zone means this was a bid that popped up. So I'm expecting bid. But if you see a line, it's more of like either a swing or some sort of volume drop off that I want referenced on my chart. So in this case, if I didn't have a zone here, I would put a line here to mark these 26.030s as the beginning of low volume. So as price transact into here, I'll know this is a low volume area. If the market continues to keep a low volume, I'll look for a bid through it. So I do keep an eye on both, but for different reasons. I use, if it's a high volume spot, I want to see, the same activity in terms of transacting. Is the passive bid still there, or did they just stop selling, right? But if it's a low volume spot, I'm looking for it to be low volume again. Lack of interest, lack of time spent in that spot. So we have information that's most recent, and I want it to reflect the same information. If now they're giving different information, it's a whole different thing. If you're trading through low volume areas, but they're building volume, to me, now it's more meaningless that it was a low volume area because it's about to not be a low volume area anymore. The idea of me mapping out that spot was to see if they keep it low volume, which means they still show a lack of interest in that spot. But if they go into a low volume area and they start to show interest, everything changes. So my gold trade, the short earlier, was based off of that too. They had trouble inching into this low volume, and when they finally peaked through, they didn't put in any. So as we got the answer. The whole thing was, this is a boogeyman here. What's going to happen? I have no idea. They finally showed the hand. They traded out there. They advertised these prices, and nobody was interested. So now I'm like, well, if no one's still interested in these prices, they might be interested in lower prices then. And that was the basis of the short, legging in one, legging in the other, and then legging in the third, because it kept giving the same info. The interest upside was fading, and they were more so poking lower. So then we catch the short. So fractal from the highest time frame down to the lowest. It's always the idea. It's just auction market theory stuff. It's not just about where you think the market wants to go. It's very important to try to map out where they don't want to go. And that's when you see, okay, decision making, so and so, yada yada yada. Taper, taper is this, right? You see a build, and as it goes, it starts to literally taper off. So you can Google the definition of the word taper, and that's what this is. It starts to fade in interest. So the interest is tapering. And if price keeps moving a certain way and the interest tapers, it's not going to be sustainable to continue. And if it's not going to be sustainable to continue, you're going to look for a trade the other way.
I don't know if I had more expectations for today or less. But I don't think I would have predicted us closing basically where we opened.
NQ is crazy, man. Did not expect this to be a follow-up candle to this.
Yeah. Well, at least ES tagged the week open. Which another reason, and bounced right off of it. So another reason we always preach on the Sunday open and to mark that level, maybe on your charts. It's always good to at least visually understand as a potential pivot for your upcoming trading week.
So Kane says Asia session, or maybe just Globex, will be new all-time highs. What do you think?
Tonight?
Tonight.
I mean, we have what, like 25% of the S&P and Nasdaq basically reporting in 8 minutes. Yes, it is entirely possible we could rip to 27,000 for all I know by the time I wake up tomorrow morning.
Oh, I'm going to be up super early tomorrow. The sun won't even be, the moon will still be up.
If I saw 27K and 7K plus on the S&P, it would not shock me. But at the same time, if we, well, I guess I don't see any of them really missing earnings, but who knows?
$27K, don't sell the move short. Well, what's crazy is everyone, as we were trading down into like the 600s, people started talking about the gap fill.
Yeah.
All of that rhetoric is gone. And now
That
the new
is-
rhetoric is how high, how high.
That is true because throughout Asia we will have Trump and Xi having their alleged meeting on trade deals. So yeah, we could absolutely be at 30K for all I know. By the time I wake up tomorrow, something stupid could happen.
Do I use market structure while using VP? Well, I use my VP for the market structure. If you're talking about price candles, yeah, I do. I use that too. But the truth for me is always going to be in the volume. The candles can show me whatever the hell they want. But what does the volume say? What does the order flow say within the candles? That's kind of how I do things.
Hey, Jam.
Hey guys, I like that whisper.
I know.
Sometimes you sneak up on us and we're not paying attention.
My goodness. Interesting day today, that's for sure.
Yeah, this one wasn't on my bingo card, but kind of a whole
Yeah.
lot of nothing at the end of the day. But I guess we're still just waiting for what matters, which is those three companies reporting here in a couple minutes.
So you guys could stick around for a few minutes, right?
Sure.
Sweet.
When is
All right.
reporting? Is it like 15 minutes after or something?
They're all 5.
5?
4:05 according to best sources.
Okay.
So you won't have to wait long. It should, the other things going on, Trump is meeting with, and I want to say Xi. I know it's not pronounced Xi, but it's spelled Xi.
She.
Xi.
Yes.
He's meeting with Xi tonight too. So two things could go really well, and yeah, we could have a move. There we go.
It might just be new all-time high right now, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're only 40
Basically
points.
there. All right, well, did anyone buy these 26 60s and 70s right here? Please tell me some of you, I don't know, somebody.
Yeah. Or
This,
took a long off anywhere, my proprietary trend line.
yeah, I just want to see that some people are getting paid in here. Oh, Dio, of course.
I mean, look at Nasdaq go. Oh my God.
Just gonna scrunch this a touch, just in case. They just want to send it higher.
If you compress it enough, it has no choice but to break out further. There it is, new highs.
They did it. New all-time high. Insert Lieutenant Dan Forrest Gump gif. And earnings aren't even out yet.
See, when everyone starts talking about gap fill, that's how you know it's super
Which-
crowded and the market's just going to go the other way and keep going the other way.
Yeah, which one? This is when some people are just donating.
All right, so the book's got a bunch of holes in it now. News soon.
Explain that. What does it mean? Holes.
No liquidity.
Oh.
They're just pulling all the liquidity out. So even 2 lots somewhere can move a market like crazy. They have to match the orders on the book. And the spread is like super wide.
Oh, the spread on the big Nasdaq is like 10 ticks. More than that. No, about 10 ticks.
Yeah, the spread is super wide, and the next price has like 1 lot on it or 2, if even that.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
you can't survive in the order book right now.
The spread is ridiculous right now.
The order book is just a heat-seeking missile right now. If you pop up, it's just gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's definitely a bowl of popcorn right now.
I mean, it looked like it was so over there for a few minutes during Powell's presser.
The S&P is a little better.
S&P
S&P's
hasn't made
about
a new
to
all-time
make
high.
it.
The
NQ
S&P
is just doing NQ things.
All right, Longs, where are you guys covering this thing?
Higher,
December 31st.
just higher.
You guys are gonna learn. Tomorrow, when Nick's SPAC announces their OpenAI partnership, it's gonna be wild.
Yep. Get ready.
By the way, while we're waiting,
Uh-oh. Oh, we still got 2 minutes. Never mind. This is just
while
no
we're
liquidity.
waiting, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. start time, Brian Westbury is going to be with us as a special guest. Then we have Farm, Tape Talk. Who knows what that guy's going to be wearing tomorrow. We have Trade the Open with Christian, Trading Boxes and XYZ. So XYZ is coming back for more. Midday Markets is Stowe, and Trade the Close is Leo and Stowe again. That's tomorrow's lineup, everybody.
Gonna be a Brian early with Chris.
Yeah. The
Also, you guys will find out. You guys will find out what T looks like.
What?
He hates
here?
it. He hates
Is-
that I'm doing it.
is the reveal tomorrow?
I'm putting a spotlight on him. It's tomorrow,
Where at?
right here on stream. I'm dragging him in.
Are you really? That'd be awesome. I mean, I don't want to be a spoiler or anything, but he's a good-looking kid. He should be front and center.
Apparently Google's out.
Holy shit.
Google top double beat.
Oh yeah, EPS 2.87 versus 2.26. Revenues beat by only 2.5 billion.
That's it.
That's it. I don't know. It might not be enough for us, but let's see. YouTube ad revenues up, Google ad revenues up, Google Cloud revenues up.
Miss on Microsoft spend.
CapEx up to 23 billion. That's enormous. ES is stuck at 69.25, 69.28. It's all over the map, man.
Microsoft missed. Oh, spend.
What's Nazi doing? Nasdaq strong. Although it has a really ugly wick at the top of the current bar in Nasdaq right now.
Looks like Meta might be iffy. Interesting.
Meta not out yet.
I don't see any other data yet. What do you guys look at?
For equities,
Yeah, for this kind of news.
I just wait till Tracy tells me.
Tracy, Mom, meatloaf.
I have a free. It's our free in-house Bloomberg terminal.
Meta out now. Oh my goodness, here we go. S&P selling off.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, I haven't seen the numbers. A friend had already posted like Meta was mixed, but I don't see it yet.
Meta's getting crushed. Apparently, someone in this chat. Who is that? Spider. Thank you for that. Their that can't be right. Their EPS was $1.05 versus $6.03 estimate.
Meta?
That can't be right. Revenue was up. Reality Labs. Reality Labs was up. It only lost 4.43 billion.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rowdy Labs that just continues to just be a dumpster of cash being lit on fire every quarter.
Dude, I want to get the Meta glasses on. The next version, though. The next version.
Now, this could be interesting. So, not the most impressive showing for those three. Google did, but Microsoft and Meta apparently.
Yeah, Microsoft looked okay. Wow. Tracy says Meta sees fourth quarter revenue 56 billion to 59 billion. Estimated was 57 billion. So they're just straddling the estimate. And then more technical analysis coming in from Tracy. Facebook sucking wind for Meta. That's true. Wow. Well, we'll see. Maybe Trump and Chai, what's his name?
Gee.
I'm never going to get that right, no matter what. Maybe they'll do something today. I mean, I'm looking at the Nasdaq's kind of still in the value area right now. If you go back for today, S&P starting to fall out of the value area right now.
NQ is taking it back slowly.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful stock index right there.
I mean, we still can't even.
I mean, it's kind of crazy because we had FOMC, and during FOMC, you can say, okay, well, none of this might matter at all when earnings comes out. And now you can say, well, none of this might matter at all after the meeting later.
I know,
So
exactly.
that's crazy. It's like a snowball of just news overriding the most recent news.
Yeah, the Nasdaq dome is still just sus. Stay away.
Yeah, there are
I
gaps
mean,
in there still.
there's like 7 people on the book right now.
That could be. I
But
mean,
yeah,
the ES is the bid ask spreads, yeah, about one or two, but single digits on the bid side and single digits on the offer side.
yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I guess
I've
until
been,
we're kind of back under 26K, I just don't see it.
Mr. Josh Platinum says robots would be offended. Oh man. Anyway, great job you guys today. Thanks for sticking around overtime. This market's going to putz around for the next hour or so. So we'll see what the Globex session brings us tonight. Actually,
Yep.
we could trade the Globex session, watch the Dodgers game at the same time.
While waiting for your stop to likely be taken as Trump and President Xi are meeting this evening at some point.
Right. And Tracy just is wrapping it up right now with so in sum, Google beat, Microsoft and Meta not.
Womp womp.
Yeah, there we go. That's your aftermarket news, folks. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out for a couple extra minutes with us. Great job today. Chad, thank you for being here. Anybody listening, we greatly appreciate you being part of this community. It's super awesome. We have just a great group of people participating across the board from the traders, the content providers, and more importantly, the folks that are in the chat and the folks that are listening to us. So thank you for that. Appreciate the thumbs up for these two young men doing what they do. XYZ, we're going to see you again tomorrow. Nick, we won't see you tomorrow.
Nope, but I'll get the pleasure of trading with Stowe for the Open after PAX on Friday. So
Oh, great. Well, I'll be here for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I won't be able to miss that. So again, thanks guys. Appreciate the subscriptions, everybody. Do want to remind everybody, most important message as we close out the session at NinjaTrader Live, please be safe out there. Be good to each other. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.
thanks, guys.